do you have the feeling that you should be doing more to protect the IP in your business? Are you worried about pesky copycats pinching your content? I am so glad that you're here. In this video today, I'm going to be taking you through the first steps to protecting the IP in your business, looking at copyright, content, and those pesky copycats. So the first thing I want to say is IP stands for intellectual property. And even though you might not be aware whether you've got any intellectual property in your business already or not, I know for a fact that you are going to have IP in your business. So let's have a think about why it's important to start protecting that IP. Well, the first thing is, it's an asset of your business like any other asset. And I know myself from my business that you will have spent a lot of time, money, energy, and effort in creating that intellectual property. So it's definitely something we want to protect anyway. But something that I've observed over the 25 plus years experience I have as a lawyer is that when people overstep and breach your intellectual property rights, it makes you feel really emotional. It gets you involved in a load of drama. And the reason for that is because when somebody is breaching your intellectual property rights, then they're breaching your boundaries, and you know how important it is to have healthy boundaries in place with your clients and all the other relationships you have with third parties in your business. And so when somebody is breaching those intellectual property rights, it can feel really triggering. And I want to make sure that we do everything we can to save you that hassle and that drama so that you can stay in your zone of genius, in your lane, doing the things that are the whole reason you started your business in the first place, and not getting sucked into a load of drama around your intellectual property rights. The next reason is something I love talking about, and that is, in the future, as your business evolves, there's every chance that you're going to want to start adding in some other layers of potential revenue. And I see this all the time with my contemporaries, my peers, and also my coaches and mentors who are that bit further ahead than me. And I see them already taking these steps. So building up their business in order to perhaps sell the whole business in the future, or it might be building up a section of the business, a part of the business, to sell that part off in the future. Or it might be creating some kind of signature program or method or system that you can license to other business owners, for example, business coaches in the future, to use with their clients. And the great thing about that is it's a form of passive or semi-passive income, and that can be a really great extra layer of business to add in as time goes on. And it's much easier to do that if you take the action today, like right from the start, as soon as you can, to start protecting your intellectual property, because you're going to need strong IP in place as an asset of your business in order to sell it or sell part of it or license other people to use those things in future. Okay, we're going to turn now to look at copyright. Now, copyright is all about content in essence. So I want to get that in your mind first of all, because it's very easy to mix up all of the different sorts of terminology in relation to IP and kind of use it for all of the things. Today we're looking at copyright, and copyright essentially is all about the content in your business. Now, when you create an original work, then you will own the copyright in that work. So let me give you some examples of what that might be. It will be the way in which you put together and you communicate your ideas, the things that you want to get across to your clients and to the outside world. So it will be things like the copy that you write, the words that you put together to describe the things that you want to describe. So copy in articles, copy in your blogs, copy on your website, in your sales pages, in your newsletters, in all of your emails. But it might be diagrams and flowcharts and photographs. All of those things will have copyright in them, and you own that copyright. I'm going to give you a couple of other examples as well, which may not kind of immediately spring to mind, but it also includes recordings and also works of art like paintings and drawings. But recordings may well be relevant to you. So if you create any recordings of meditations or future you visualizations or interviews, for example, as lots of my clients do, then there will be copyright in those sound recordings too, and you will own the copyright in those recordings if you created them. Now, the great thing about copyright is you don't need to do anything in order for it to exist. It just comes into being when you create it. However, unfortunately, lots of people are not as clued up as you are now after you've watched this video, or it suits them to act as though they don't know this information. So it suits a lot of people to treat it as though once you put something out there online, then it's available to everybody to use it. Now that absolutely isn't the case. If you created it, you own the copyright, and it's up to you to grant permission to people or not about how they can use whatever it is. So it's really important for you to use a copyright notice in relation to all of these things. And I'm going to tell you now how to create that copyright notice, okay? So a copyright notice, in essence, is that little C in a circle and then the name of the business entity. So let me explain what that means. If you're a sole trader, that's going to be just your name. It doesn't even need to have your trading name as well. It needs to have your own personal name if you're a sole trader. If you're a limited company, it will be the name of the limited company. So we have the little C in a circle, either your name if you're a sole trader or the name of your limited company. And then it will be the year that you created whatever it is, and then all rights reserved. So what I want you to do, and you can either pause this video now and do it while you're watching it, or do it at the end of the video, but I want you to sit down for 5 minutes and do a brain dump of all of the different sorts of materials that you have created and do create in your business. So you're creating a list of all of the things in which you will have copyright. And we've already gone through a lot of what those might be. Some other things might be slide decks, if you're doing any presentations, handouts, any kind of checklists, free gift type PDFs, all of those sorts of things. So I want you to create a list of all of those things, and then from here on, use a copyright notice when you put those things out into the world. So in the footer of all of the pages of your website, in the footer of any hard copy or soft copy materials that you create, if you create any recordings, you can do a recorded copyright notice at the start of the recording. You could also do a written copyright notice wherever you're giving people access to that recording, whether it's an online platform or you're sharing a link in an email. You could also include a copyright notice there as well. This isn't a cast iron guarantee that you won't get any pesky copycats giving it a try, but let me tell you, it will be a huge deterrent in the first place. And then also, if they do that and take a chance, you're in a much stronger position if you want to try to stop them taking that action and using your materials if you've used the copyright notice. So I hope you've understood now that you've watched this video what intellectual property is and what intellectual property you've got at the moment in terms of the content that you've created, and how you can use a copyright notice to help protect that content. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.